October 22nd, 1989. The small town of St. Joseph, Minnesota, was sinking into an autumn evening. The sun had long set, but the air was still filled with the smell of fallen leaves and distant bonfires. Along a narrow rural road rode three boys, Jacob Wetterling, his brother Trevor, and their friend Aaron. They were coming back from a nearby store where they'd gone to rent a video cassette and buy some candy. Nothing foretold the tragedy. The night was calm, the road empty. In the distance, the warm lights of their home shimmered through the trees. But then, headlights appeared behind them. A car approached and suddenly stopped. The boys froze. A man stepped out of the darkness. He wore a mask and a black jacket. In one hand, he held a flashlight. In the other, something that looked like a gun. "Stop," he ordered in a deep voice. "Lie down on the ground." The boys obeyed. The man came closer, asked their names, their ages. Then he pointed at two of them. "You two can go. Run. Don't look back." They ran. Jacob stayed, and no one ever saw him alive again. By the next morning, the whole town knew. At first, people thought it was a misunderstanding. Maybe Jacob got lost. But soon it became clear he was gone. Police blocked the roads. Volunteers searched every field and forest. Helicopters hovered above. Dogs sniffed for any trace. Dozens of people searched day and night. But there were no clues. For the Wetterling family, time stopped. Jacob's mother, Patty, couldn't sleep. She called everyone she could, gave interviews, handed out flyers. His father, Jerry, tried to stay strong, but his voice grew quieter with each passing day. The house, once filled with laughter, fell silent and cold. Weeks turned into months, months into years. St. Joseph, a town where everyone once trusted each other, changed forever. People began locking their doors. Parents stopped letting their children walk alone. Posters appeared on every corner. "Where is Jacob?" His smiling face became both a symbol of hope and a reminder that evil can find its way into any home. The FBI joined the investigation. Hundreds of suspects were questioned. Every lead ended in a dead end. Some said they'd seen a masked man by the road. Others heard strange noises in the woods. But there was no solid evidence. Police searched dozens of houses. They even began suspecting longtime neighbors, people they'd known for years. The little town became a place of fear and mistrust. But the Wetterlings never gave up. Patty kept Jacob's photo on the refrigerator. Every night, she left a porch light on in case he came home. 10 years passed. The world changed. Internet, mobile phones, DNA analysis. But Jacob's case remained unsolved. The files gathered dust in archives. Only his parents kept fighting. Patty became an activist. She visited schools, met with other families of missing children, and started support organizations. She often said, "We don't know where Jacob is, but as long as we're looking, he's alive." In the 2010s, a new generation of investigators reopened the case. They found a familiar name in the old files, Danny Heinrich. Back in 1989, he'd lived nearby and had already been questioned for another assault on a boy. But there was no proof back then. DNA testing didn't exist. Now, technology had caught up. Police tested old evidence, and the DNA matched. Heinrich was back under investigation. The FBI interrogated him for months. He refused to talk, until in 2016, he finally broke. He agreed to confess under one condition. He would not be charged with murder, only with kidnapping and possession of child pornography. It was a bitter deal, but it meant one thing. The truth would finally be known. In the courtroom, Patty Wetterling stood holding a photo of her son. As Heinrich began to speak, the room fell silent. He told them what happened that night, how he saw the boys, how he stopped them, how he let two go and took one away. Then he described what happened after. Each word shattered Patty's heart again. But now she finally knew. The mystery that had haunted them for 27 years had an answer. In September 2016, police found Jacob's remains in a field near St. Joseph, a place they had searched hundreds of times, a place that had always been just out of reach. He had been there all along. Patty told the reporters. Now we know what happened. Now Jacob is home. Years have passed, But America still remembers Jacob Wetterling. His name became a symbol of change. After his tragedy, the Jacob Wetterling Crimes Against Children Act was passed, creating the first system for registering sex offenders in the U.S. It became the foundation for Megan's Law and other child protection initiatives. Patty continued her advocacy. She spoke about how pain can become strength, how even one child can change a nation's laws. Today, in St. Joseph, there is a memorial. People bring flowers, toys, and photographs. Every year, on the day of Jacob's disappearance, the town pauses for a minute of silence. And in homes across Minnesota, porch lights glow for a boy who never came home. Jacob Wetterling was 11 years old. He loved life. He dreamed of becoming a scientist. He laughed at his father's jokes. He cared for his little sister. His story is filled with pain, but it also carries a light that never fades. Because love is stronger than fear. Because memory brings home those we've lost. And maybe somewhere beyond our understanding, Jacob did make a home.